Yes, guys, welcome back. How's everyone doing? Thank you very much for joining me for another show, guys. In this show today, we are going to be discussing Trent Alexander-Arnold. Is he a midfield maestro or a midfield jinx? Does he actually help being in midfield? Should he just play fullback next season and for the rest of his Liverpool career? We're going to chat about that today. Also, we're going to talk about Cody Gakpo. Darwin Nunez. Obviously, Jurgen Klopp's come out today and said some comments about Cody Gakpo playing in this central number 9 position. So everything I've been saying about Cody Gakpo and Darwin Nunez the last few days is exactly what the manager actually thinks. So, yeah. So everyone keeps telling me I'm wrong. Obviously, the manager thinks it. So Cody Gakpo's our number 9. So we're going to be chatting about that. Andy Robertson as well. What do we do about Robbo? What do we do about Robbo? He's stinking up the place at the moment. He's playing multiple systems, multiple positions. Nothing seems to suit him right now. I don't know where we're going to stand with Robbo for the future. But yeah, that's what we're going to talk about on today's show, guys. Make sure you are hitting the like button, guys. Go and smash that like button. Go and hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 4K. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Make sure you share the video as well on your socials, guys. Share the video out, guys. Big up to everyone in the chat. Hope you're all doing well. Right, I'm going to start off with a video. I don't know if anyone's heard this today. Yet again, more complete and utter bollocks that we're going to listen to here. Oh man, it gets worse and worse and worse. So this is Andy Jacobs from Talk Shit. If you know Andy Jacobs, he's a big Chelsea fan. Apparently his club do no wrong, but Jurgen Klopp's the devil. And yeah, and it's only a short little video, like 30 seconds. Let me just play this for you guys.
Jurgen Klopp, some of the stuff he says is incredible, isn't it? I mean, I think the FA should really get strong with him. You know, that what he did on Sunday was completely out of order. You know, if you're trying to teach referees respect to referees, you cannot be doing that. Yeah. And I wouldn't mind, but every other fan knows Liverpool gets so many decisions, you know, VAR decisions and close decisions. So, you know, for him to go mad about that, it's just wrong. You know, I personally, for me, it would be a 10-game ban.
10-game ban, you old senile little shit. A 10-game ban for running up to the ref, not swearing at the ref, not touching the ref, not doing anything, just running up in front of him, and the linesman, the fourth official was like, yeah, whatever. Oh, this stuff don't stop. This stuff don't stop. And what is he on about? What is he on about with the that Liverpool always get VAR decisions? What are you chatting about? What are you chatting about, you utter moron? Oh, let's play that one more time for a laugh.
Jurgen Klopp, some of the stuff he says is incredible, isn't it? I mean, I think the FA should really get strong with him. You know, that what he did on Sunday was completely out of order. You know, if you're trying to teach referees respect to referees, you cannot be doing that. Yeah. And I wouldn't mind, but every other fan knows Liverpool gets so many decisions, you know, VAR decisions and close decisions. So, you know, for him to go mad about that, it's just wrong. You know, I personally, for me, it would be a 10-game ban.
Oh, Jesus Christ. 10-game ban, a 10-game ban, you know. A 10-game ban, you know. Oh my God. Oh my God. You know what I should do one day, guys? You know what I should do one day? When we're live on YouTube, right? When I'm doing one of these shows one day, I should call up Talk Sport on the air while I'm live with you guys. What do you reckon? Should I do that one day? Should I call up Talk Sport one day when I'm live on the air with you guys? Because this stuff, no one comes back and says anything against them. No one ever comes back and says anything against them. Liverpool always get VAR decisions. Are you having are you having a bubble? Are you having an absolute bubble? Do you know how many times has Salah been fouled in the penalty box? We get no penalty. How many penalties we had this year? 2, 3 in 12 months. But we apparently get loads of VAR decisions. The offside VAR decisions that go against us. The offside decisions that we actually get right because they're offside. VAR is not rewarding us with wrong decisions. They're rewarding us because it's the correct decision, which is the whole point of VAR. So in this senile man's mind, the whole point of VAR is to not give correct decisions. It just gives decisions to a club if they're big enough. So when Liverpool get decisions from VAR, it's because they're meant to be the correct decisions. So you'll be rewarded for the correct decision. I mean, Plum, who's the only football team? Who is the only Premier League football team that has had a penalty after the 90 minutes whistle's blown? Who's the only Premier League football team who has been rewarded a penalty from VAR after the 90 minutes game is finished? The referee is blown for full time. Who's the only team? Oh yeah, Man United. Man United got a penalty after the ref blew the whistle for full time. And you're saying we get decisions? Everyone knows. Sitting there like an old gangster, like he's in the social club smoking his embassy. Yeah, everyone knows. Everyone knows Frank. Yeah, everyone knows Frank. That Liverpool always get these fucking decisions. Frank's over there. Oh, tell him again, Bill. Tell him again. Tell him again. Hey guys, get round here. Stop playing dominoes, you old fuckers. Get round here. Get round here. Look, he's got. Yeah, Jacobs has got a story to tell you. Yeah, Jacobs has got a story to tell you. Yeah, let Jacobs tell you this story. Guys, did you know Liverpool Football Club get awarded all the VAR decisions? And everyone knows about it. Is that right, Jacob, my old son? Is that right? Yeah. Well, you do know the purpose of VAR is to give the teams the correct decision, yeah? So if they've not got that decision, but VAR decided that is the decision they should get, like an offside or a penalty, it's because the ref made a mistake. So in theory, VAR are just doing the job they're meant to be doing and rewarding people what they're meant to be getting in the first place, yeah? That's the point of VAR. You fucking senile old prick. Like, what is going on? Literally, what is going on? A 10-game ban. Right, this is what does my head in, guys. He wants a 10-game ban, right, for Jurgen Klopp, yeah? Again, I keep saying this and I always say it. Arteta, Gary O'Neill, Pep Guardiola, not Pep Guardiola, sorry, I won't mention him in this actually. All the young managers are so protected in this league, it's unreal. All the young managers are completely and utterly protected in this Premier League. Arteta's never in his dugout. Never. He's always one end of the pitch or the other end of the pitch. He's always getting in the fourth officials' faces. He's always saying, he's always cussing, he's always having to go, he's always swearing, yeah? Eddie Howe got on the pitch the other week and had a go at the referee and they're on the pitch. Gary O'Neill having a go at the referee, walked straight up to the referee after a game the other day and got in the referee's face. Now, nothing said because they're English. They're young English managers, apart from Arteta, who's a young manager that the Premier League love. If it was up to the Premier League, people like Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp would not be in our league. If the Premier League could have it their way, they'll just have a lot of clones. They'll have your Eddie Howe's, your Artetas, your Gary O'Neill's, all these safe young managers, your Frank Lampards, all these don't say boo to a goose. You can't say anything to me. I'll report it to the police. Oh, these people do my poxy nutting. They do my nutting. I'm sick and tired of the one. Look, I'm not even saying Klopp is right in what he did. Right? I'm not even sitting here once and saying Jurgen was correct for doing what he did. I'm not. I'm just sick of the hypocrisy in football. And people like Jacobs, look, Let me play it one more time for you in case you didn't hear it. This absolute sardine right here. Look. In case you didn't hear it, listen to this.
Jurgen Klopp, some of the stuff he says is incredible, isn't it? I mean, I think the FA should really get strong with him. You know, that what he did on Sunday was completely out of order. You know, if you're trying to teach referees respect to
right, he's saying what Jurgen Klopp did on Sunday was out of order to the fourth official, yeah? So today we've heard, that's come out in the press today, that Paul Tierney, Jurgen Klopp told us today in his press conference, that Paul Tierney wanted to send Jurgen Klopp off and give him the red card. But his fourth official, the man Klopp had a go at, said it weren't nothing that bad, just give him a yellow. So the man that Klopp ran to and got in the face of, yeah, after his celebration, basically said it's nothing that bad. But everyone else wants him to be banned for 10 games. The referee, Paul Tierney, wanted to send Klopp off. But the fourth official told the referee, Paul Tierney, it weren't anything that bad, just give him a yellow. So what are we doing here? What are we making up things like a 10-game ban? Did Andy Jacobs just wake out of bed? Andy Jacobs looks like the sort of guy that sleeps on a park bench. He looks like the kind of guy who sleeps on the park bench after he had too many vodkas and his old woman's kicked him out. She can't bear him anymore. Andy walking in 1 o'clock in the morning, you know, thinking he's still 33 years old. Oh, smelling up the place, looking like a tramp. The old woman's like, get out of here, Andy, you dirty old shit. Go back onto your park bench, yeah? Yeah, it's like, that's what he looks like, man. He don't have a clue. If you go to do this job and you'll go work in the media, right, on a big radio station like TalkSport. TalkSport's a gigantic radio station, yeah? If you'll go work on this kind of platform, do your homework. Do your sodding homework. Just go and listen to Klopp's press conference today, where he said he was in the wrong. And he also said the Paul Tierney wanted to send him off. But the fourth official told him it was nothing that bad, just give him a yellow card. It was nothing that bad, just give him a yellow card. So the fourth official's completely okay with it. The fourth official is the man who doesn't want Jurgen sent off. This is what people got to start getting in their damn thick heads. Jurgen, the fourth official, did not want Jurgen sent off, right? If the fourth official was that upset about it, and wanted Jurgen to learn a lesson, he would have told Paul Tierney to send him off. Give him the red card, send him off. Right? But he said, nah, it's all right, it's nothing bad, just give him a yellow. It's nothing bad, just give him a yellow, it's okay, it's not that bad. And now, you got this bald buffoon here, this Andy Jacobs, this street bench tosspot, right here. 10-game ban. What he did was well out of order. 10-game ban. 10-game. He's so out of order. He's so out of order. 10-game ban. Yeah, okay, mate. Okay, 10-game ban. Yeah, okay. You're a Chelsea fan, yeah? Yeah, I swear your owner funded Russia for tanks to destroy other countries, yeah? So that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. As long as you're not Jurgen Klopp getting into a fourth official's face, that's okay. That's all right. Let's not worry about it. But Roman doing what he did, yeah? Roman doing what he did, funding the Russians and funding tanks, buying armory, destroying other countries. That's okay. That's fine. No worries. Get in a fourth official's face who don't give a shit. 10-game ban. 10-game ban. Fuck me. What is going on here? It's just, the fourth official didn't care. Do I need to get Klopp's press conference back up where he says Tierney wanted to send him off, but the fourth official said that it's nothing, just a yellow card. So the fourth official's not bothered. The fourth official didn't think Klopp did anything. So this just proves that Klopp didn't say anything to the fourth official. Otherwise, the fourth official would have told Paul Tierney to send Klopp off. So I don't know what we're doing here. Klopp's admitted he was wrong. I've said he was wrong. He probably shouldn't get in officials' faces like that, right? But if the fourth official has said, oh, he didn't do nothing wrong, it's fine, he didn't even talk to me, didn't swear at me, just give him a yellow card for running at me. That's it, right? What are we doing here? Why have we got old buffoons like this who's in their 70s, drinking vodka on park benches, probably watching girls that are too young for him, and going, oh, 10 going ban, 10 going ban, 10 going ban. What the fuck is going on with the world? What is going on with the world? Oh, Jesus Christ, it done my ending. Yeah, he did, my friend. Well, I'm only reading what I read in papers, and what the papers told me, that's what happened. So I'm only reading what was in papers, my friend. I was only reading what's in papers. So I don't know the geezer, but obviously he's very, very tight with a certain Russian president, and that's why he left Chelsea, weren't it? Ain't that the reason he actually left Chelsea? Because he was funding the Russian prime president. Am I wrong on that? If I'm wrong on that, I'll take it all back. I'll take it all back, right? But I thought Roman Abramovich had to leave Chelsea because he was funding Putin. Is that correct? I don't know. If that's wrong, then I'll take it all back. But then why did he leave Chelsea? I thought that was the reason. Yeah, so if that was the reason, if that was the reason, then I'll take it back. But I swear that was the reason why he left Chelsea, wasn't it? Someone let me know. Someone let me know in the chat. I swear that was the reason. Yeah. I'm just going on what we've been told over here, my friend. That is all. So if you're Russian, big up to you. I'm not got anything against anyone. I'm just being said like what happened over here. Yeah, allegedly. Everything's alleged here, guys. Everything's alleged. Everything's alleged. Yeah, he had connections with the Russian government. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Tories are a different matter. The Tories are just as bad, man. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. So obviously we only hear what we hear over in this country. If it didn't happen in that country, who knows? Who fucking knows at the end of the day? You know what I'm saying? Okay. Right, hang on. I'll get this up on the screen. Let me get this up on the screen. Yeah, so my man here, big up to you. We can only say what's in this country, what we hear. So if you are Russian, my friend, it's fine. But yeah, it's only what we hear, my friend. It's only what we hear over here. But yeah, this twat. I'm just sick of people. You know what it is? I am sick to death of people just not doing their homework. You know, you work in big media outlets like this shit. Just do your homework, man. Just do your homework. Just go down and see what you found. Listen to Klopp's press conference where Klopp says, I was in the wrong. I apologise for it. I was in the wrong. I'll take whatever punishment comes. But the fourth official said I did nothing wrong. And that's why I never got sent off. So if the fourth official is saying, if the fourth official is happy with Jurgen Klopp and have decided he doesn't need to be sent off, then what are we doing? If the fourth official is happy that Jurgen Klopp can stay there and doesn't need to be sent off, and the fourth official's the one that Jurgen Klopp ran at and celebrated in front of, you know, Jurgen Klopp made a point to run at the fourth official and celebrate in front of him, yeah? And if that fourth official was quite happy at the fact that Klopp did nothing wrong in his mind, just give him a yellow card, then what are we doing here? Like literally, what is all this doing? What are we doing? Why are people on TalkSport talking about 10-game bans and Liverpool get all the VAR decisions and this and that and all this absolute nonsense? You know, at the end of the day, you just got to go, right, what Klopp did was wrong. Yeah? What the official did, the officials are terrible at their job. So there's not two wrongs don't make a right, but the officials are not doing their job properly. The officials in the VAR booth are not doing their job properly. We got other referees like Gallagher going on Sky Sports News saying the Haaland kick to the head of the Crystal Palace player is perfectly fine, but the kick to the head from Jota to Tottenham player should be a red card. You know, we've got all this stuff that no one makes sense of. And then we've got 10-game bans. We got a bloke who is apparently a Liverpool supporter and has an independent FA referee charity bollocks who wants Jurgen Klopp banned for life. It's like, what are we doing? The man at the centre of the problem, the assistant referee, the fourth official, didn't think there was an issue and told Tierney just to give him a yellow card. So what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? It's mad. It's absolutely mad. None of it makes sense. Big up, my friend. Big up. Yeah, it's just nuts. Just do your jobs. 10-game ban. So apparently the FA have sent out their thing. So Liverpool FC's Jurgen Klopp has been charged following the Premier League fixture against Tottenham on Sunday, the 30th of April. It is alleged that the manager comments regarding the match official during a post-match media interviews consisted in improper conduct in that they imply bias and / or question the integrity of the referee and / or the personnel offensive and or bring the game into disrepute. Jurgen Klopp has till Friday, May the 5th to provide a response. Right, so that's from the FA. Big up Bailey for sharing that with me. That's from the FA just now. That's from the FA just now. Look, I'm going to keep saying it. Klopp needs to calm down a bit. Don't take the passion away. Just needs to calm down a little bit, yeah? Don't get so excited. I mean, it's going to be hard. Soon managers won't be able to celebrate. But at the same time, the thing I don't like, yeah, and this is the thing I don't like, is that referees are never accountable for anything. Like our players are accountable, our managers are accountable. So they get interviews. So, you've got an intense game like that. Liverpool winning by a 4-3 in the last minute. You've got the incident that happened with Jota, the incident that happened with Luis Diaz and stuff like that. Paul Tierney acting the way he's acted all game. And as soon as the final whistle's blown, a microphone goes into the Jurgen Klopp's face or a manager's face, yeah? Or a player's face. And they got to talk straight away. Now, we know as fans, after games, we're buzzing. We're hyped. If you've won, you've lost, you've got different feelings, yeah? And you can come out with some stuff. If you give yourself an hour just to chill out, you think differently, yeah? But they literally go into their faces as soon as the final whistle's blown. Go into the manager's face, go into the player's face. And sometimes the manager and player will say things that just comes out their mouths because it's part of the moment. They're buzzing, they're full of testosterone, they're something's just happened in the game. They can't believe it. So they say things they probably regret. Yeah? But these referees are never accountable. These referees are never, ever, ever accountable. You never hear from them. Paul Tierney's just gone off down to the sunset. He's like, I had a lovely weekend. Wife's like, what did you do this weekend? I refereed Tottenham Liverpool. She's like, it's a massive game. Well done. How did you get on? Yeah, all right. I fucked Jurgen over again. And he come out with some stuff in the press conference that makes him look like the bad guy now. So I sit here like this all weekend now. Nothing wrong with me. I'm chilling. Yeah? Nothing wrong with me. I'm chilling. Yeah? And the wife's like, well done, Paul. Good one. When's your next game? Next weekend. I'll be sweet. I'll just do another game. Nothing. Never hear from Paul Tierney again. Yeah? No accountability. As I keep saying, Robbo got elbowed in the face by the linesman. Yeah? No accountability. Robbo got made the one to apologise. Robbo had to apologise. He got elbowed. Robbo had to apologise. What are we doing here? No accountability. I'm sick of it. And there's going to be incidents again today. There's going to be incidents again today or tomorrow. We got Arsenal Chelsea today, a big game. There might be a major incident in that where, you know, Arteta's going to speak out, or, you know, Frank Lampard's going to speak out, or one of the players gets to speak out that might get him in trouble. But the officials won't speak out and they'll just go home. No problem. They're protected. They are protected. They're cushioned, you know. Their mates protect them. Keith Hackett, you know, he'll protect them. You know, why are we protecting them so much? It's not like they're good at their job. It's not like they're good at job. Why are we protecting these people? No, it does my nutting. It does my nutting, these officials. Big up to everyone in the chat. Hope you're all doing well. Don't forget that like button once you come into the house, guys. Got 71 people in here. We've got 34 likes. Let's get the likes up to 50, guys. Go and press that fun button right now if you've not pressed it already. I'd appreciate it. Let's talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold. Let's talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold right now. Is he the midfield maestro, or is he going to be a midfield jinx? What we're saying about Trent Alexander-Arnold. Personally, for me, I think Trent has to play midfield. Now, I've seen some people talk about, you know, Trent starting as an actual midfielder and not an inverted fullback is completely different. You might not get the same Trent. I understand that opinion, but if you watch most of the games, Trent is basically in midfield for like 80% of games. Go and watch the last 5 games Trent's played this inverted fullback role. He is literally in midfield for most of them games. For 80% of the games, he's in midfield. You know, he's not doing this inverted full. He's literally in midfield. And he runs the game. He's been arguably our best player. He's arguably our best player in midfield as well. Big up, Jen. I'll see you super chat, Jen. I'll show it out in a minute. I'll just big up you, though, Jen. I haven't forgotten. He's been, for me, he's probably been our best player in the last 5 games. Him in that midfield area, I like it. The reason I like Trent in midfield is because he keeps the ball ticking over. And what I mean by that is that sometimes when you watch our midfielders, say we're playing Elliott, Henderson, and Fabinho, yeah, the ball never moves fast enough. So if Henderson, Elliott, and Fabinho are our midfield 3, the ball never moves quick enough. It's too slow. You know, it's always sideways, backwards, sideways, and we move forward going sideways. But with Trent keeps the ball ticking over constantly. You know, Trent will find a pass out 5 yards away. Trent will try a 10-yard pass. Trent will then try a 35-yard pass. They won't always come off, but he'll always try these passes. He's the creative outlet, but he keeps the ball moving. And if you keep the ball moving as a midfielder, what it does to the opposition, they can't set. They can't set in their system, in their where they want to be positionally, in their setup. Yeah, when it's Fabinho, Elliott, and Henderson as the midfield 3, we find it really hard to break teams down because the ball doesn't move quick enough. But Trent gets it. It gets in positions in the midfield area, usually around that 6, that 8, and that 10 area. So it's a nice sort of triangle on the right-hand side of the pitch. And he picks it up and he's always looking for a pass. He's always trying to move the ball forward. Not very many sideways and backward passes. He's always got his head up. He's always scanning what's about. Watch Trent in the last few games. He's scanning the pitch before he receives the ball. You'll see he's looking around already, receives the ball, straight away knows where to pass it off. The only other midfielder we got like that is Thiago. Thiago is literally the only other midfielder apart from Trent who scans the pitch. And that's what I like about it. So, you know, Trent will be getting a ball, he'll be looking around, receives the ball, and he knows already where everyone's position is because he's scanned the pitch. So because he does that, you can move the ball faster. Because you can move the ball quicker And that's the beautiful thing about Trent playing midfield. Also, I've seen that there's a certain Liverpool channel out there. I'm not going to shout out their name because what they do is what they do, yeah? But they want Trent sold because they don't think Trent's good enough. And I can't, I'm not going to shout out this channel. It's not fair. But I can't believe my ears. I was listening to it yesterday. And he was going on about like Trent needs to be sold and it's not good enough. And defensively, he's still not good enough as a midfielder. I'm like, what are you chatting about? Trent's better defensively as a midfielder than he is when he played fullback because he's excellent interceptions. Go and look at Trent's stats at interceptions. Trent always wins the ball back in midfield. Trent wins the ball back really well in midfield. He's very good at intercepting the ball. Yeah, and you know, when you intercept the ball, if you get into that position to intercept the ball, you can then move the ball quicker. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Trent defensively ain't at it. Now, I know a lot of people have been saying why move Trent into midfield because we won the Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, League Cup, Super Cup, World Club Championship, all these trophies we won when Trent was playing right back. And I understand that argument as well. If you want to come with that argument, I completely understand that argument. Like, why would you move him into midfield when we won? He won every trophy that was available to him at right back. Two things though. One, evolution, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes a player needs to move on. Like Kimmich sometimes played at right back. One thing's at Bayern Munich playing right back. Now he plays defensive midfield. You know, you can. There's nothing wrong with taking a player out of their position to elevate their game. If Trent's game needs elevating and right back's not it for him no more, stick him midfield. The other thing with this as well is that when Trent played at right back, we was a far superior side. So we had Mane, Salah and Bobby. We had the best three up top at defending from the front. So they started the press. As I keep saying, Bobby was the system. He was the truth. Bobby went, Salah went, Mane went. As soon as Salah and Bobby went, the midfield went, and then the defenders went, and that let room for Robbo and Trent to get into attacking fullback areas and be creative as wingers almost. Also, on that defensive point of view, our work rate in them few years was through the roof. Yeah, no team really got onto our defence because of the work rate of the front three and the midfield three. Because the front three and the midfield three was so good at defending and their work rate was second to none. Trent and Robbo never really come under attack too much and was shown up. And the last 18 months where our midfielders started to degrade a bit, and it's no coincidence either that as soon as our midfield started to get a bit weak and not being the midfield it used to be, Trent's getting exposed at right back. It's no coincidence, surely, that as soon as the midfield starts to fall to bits a bit, the last 18 months, Trent's been exposed more. And the more you expose Trent, the worse you can tell he is at defending. I don't think he's a terrible defender or anything like that. I just think that he's not good enough to be a defensive-minded right back now for the future. And I don't see the problem in putting Trent in midfield. I don't see the problem. A lot of people don't want to see Trent in midfield. That's fine. I honestly don't understand the problem putting Trent in midfield. I really don't. I think Trent in midfield can cause problems, man. Just give him a go. See what he can do out there. I really, really, really don't understand the issue with it. I'd love to see what Trent can do in that midfield area. Give him a season there. Get a proper fullback in. Now, the problem with Trent playing this inverted role at the moment is that we have no right back. So Trent on paper is still our right back, but he's playing this inverted midfield role at the moment. So on paper, he's still our right back, Because when he's in midfield and we lose the ball in transition, we've got no one at the right back area, so we're lopsided defensively. That's why we're asking Kanate to play in that centre back area where he covers at right back because of his pace. You can't do that for a whole season. So for me, going into next season, Jurgen Klopp's got to make up his mind that if Trent's going to be a midfielder or just keep him as a right back. If you keep Trent as a right back here next season, but you buy the right midfielders for next season in that position, say you buy Robertson and Alex McAllister, yeah, then Trent don't need to be inverted anymore. He goes back to just being a right back. And if he goes just back to being a right back, do we have the same issues we've had for the last 12 months? Because people will work out that Trent's right back again. You can still get at him. You still get him. All right. If you can get past Liverpool's midfield, Trent's going to be still a weakness there. And that is my issue with it all. Now, what I think we should do is play Trent as a midfielder next season, buy a right back. So I know Liverpool apparently looking at Timber from Ajax. Play centre back and play right back. You play Timber at right back, then you got Trent in midfield. My worry is starting to be, guys. Let me know what you think on this, guys. If Trent becomes a midfielder, for me, he can't play in a free. I don't think you can play 4-3-3 and play Trent in a free. I think the reason why Trent's getting a lot of space and time at the moment in midfield is because he plays that, when he comes into midfield and plays that inverted role and comes into midfield, he's basically playing a double pivot with Fabinho. So him and Fabinho sit there. And Fabinho is the aggressive DM who gets into tackles, try and wins the ball back. And then you give Trent the space creatively to make to do what Trent does. All right. So if you go play 4-3-3 next season, I don't think Trent can be one of the midfield three, because say you buy Garte and Garte takes Fabinho's role. So Garte's the main DM. Say then you buy, say you start Thiago, Ugarte is the DM, and Trent on the number 8. So Trent's the 8, Thiago's the left of the 3, and Ugarte's in the middle. I think you might find that you come into a few problems because Trent's going to get pressed a lot. In that position. And if he gets pressed a lot in that position, it might not look like a player is. I've been saying it for time. For me, Trent is a midfielder. He's always been a midfielder. He's just been a midfielder that played right back. It's as simple as that. He was a midfielder in the youth team. That's his position. Klopp and the team liked what they saw from Trent in midfield, but thought he could use them attributes as a right back, and he came into the team as a right back. He started learning the right back role in the youth team, but he started as a midfielder. He's not got that defensive gene. You're born with it. Some people have just got that defensive gene where they know how to defend. Trent doesn't understand space. Trent don't understand space and awareness at the right back area. He just don't. It's a fact. Yeah. You only have to look how many times the ball goes over his head. Trent, that ball goes over Trent's head far too many times when he plays right back. It's because his positioning in the pitch isn't good enough. And if you can create an opportunity for Trent to be a midfielder and play him alongside a quality DM, I think you got a player there. I really do. And I don't understand why people are so against Trent playing in midfield. I don't get it. His natural game is in midfield. We're just so used to seeing him at right back now that we forget that he's a natural midfielder. That's the issue. Look, if you look at the way Trent has been used as a right back for Liverpool, look at the way Trent's been used as a right back as Liverpool. He's been used as a midfielder at right back. Look at the way he's used. His attacking qualities. No, not many defenders have. There's not many defenders you go to and go, right, you're a defender, but your attacking qualities are so good. Usually if you got attacking qualities of what Trent's got, a team would try and get you into midfield because of his attacking qualities, how good he is on the ball. They'll try and get you into midfield, yeah? But we used him as like a midfielder at right back, if that makes sense. That's what we did. We used him as a midfielder at right back. And yes, in the early stages, as I keep saying, it worked because the team was better then. You know, we had a front three that pressed from the front, then a midfield three that pressed after the front three. So we squeezed the opposition. So Trent was never as exposed. As I keep saying, the last 18 months, our midfield has not been as good. And Trent has been exposed more the last 18 months. It's not a coincidence. It's just not. Yeah. Trent is 24 years of age now. How long am I going to have to keep waiting for Trent to be defensively better as a fullback? 25, 20. We go over this 2 years' time. He's 26 now, still making the same mistakes continuously as a defensive right back. He goes wandering too much. He doesn't know his position. The ball goes over his head a heck of a lot. That shouldn't happen all the time. You know, you hear Gary Neville talking about that. It's because, well, Gary Neville is basically saying he's not in the right position on the pitch. If he was 5 yards back, if he was 5 yards back, that ball wouldn't be there to go over his head. No, little things like that. But I think because if you look at Robbo on the left-hand side, Robbo is more of a natural defender than Trent is. I think we can all agree with that. Robbo is more of a natural defender. Like, Robbo can go forward like Trent. He's not as good on the ball as Trent is, but he can go forward like Trent does. But if we look at Robbo's all-round game, Robbo's more of a natural defender. That's why Robbo can play this back three at the moment. He plays in the back three sometimes for Scotland as well, because he's more of a natural defender. But he's got the ability to go forward. Where if you look at Trent would never be put in a back three, ever, because no manager would ever trust him enough defensively. And that should tell us everything. That really should tell us everything. The man is quality. The man has got so many qualities on the ball. He should be a midfielder. But you've got to do it right. Put him in a double pivot. Trent would cook, man. Trent would absolutely cook playing as a midfielder. But I don't get why we're against it. I really don't understand it. The only thing I can think of is that we are so used to seeing Trent at right back that we don't think it'll work. Well, look, I know he's not playing midfield as such right now. He's inverted fullback, but in the last 5 games, 80% of his game is in midfield. There's no doubt about that. And he's running the game there. And do you know why he's running the game? Because he's got freedom on the pitch. And because he's playing that double pivot. If he played in the midfield three, you took Fabinho away and just went with Trent and 2 other midfielders, there might be an issue. That's the only problem I can see. But put Trent in a double pivot, I'm telling you, put him next to Agate. If we got Agate, say the Agate thing happens, we get Agate. Put Trent next to Agate. You got one DM who's the aggressor, wins all the tackles, goes into everyone, wins the ball back. And then you got Trent, who's more the creative DM, the quarterback of your team, the one who controls the midfield, like a Pirlo, like a Kimmich, who sees everything on the pitch that he creates space for. It's basically what we should have done with Thiago. It's basically what we're doing with Trent now is almost what we really should have done with Thiago since we bought him. Because that's what Thiago did at Barcelona and at Bayern Munich. Picked up them areas in the pitch, played a double pivot, always played alongside the DM, that was the aggressor, got stuck into everyone, won balls back, read the game really well, and then left space for the creative DM in like a Thiago to do his thing, be the quarterback of your team, pick up the ball, control the midfield, can see everything in front of him, scans the pitch. That's what Trent does, as I keep saying. Watch Trent in games, guys. Watch him tomorrow. Scanning the pitch before he receives the ball so he knows when to start picking it off straight away. Start playing and look, this thing here, DM is not a role. Trent can play as DM because DM is not just a one-way role. This is the thing when you say about defensive midfielders. not all defensive midfielders are like a Makalele or like a Fabinho. Some defensive midfielders are like a Kimmich. Yeah, if you're playing a double pivot, you're basically playing that defensive midfield role, like a Pilo. Pilo was a defensive-minded midfielder. Later on, he got in his career. You know, he's that midfielder that sat and orchestrated a team, orchestrated the midfield, was the midfield controller. Pep Guardiola, midfield controller. Yeah. You don't have to be a DM that's a clattering machine, that like a Caicedo. Caicedo is a DM that is that, yeah? But you also can have a DM next to him who's not that, who's the controller, the conductor of the team. It's got all the vision of the pitch. You know, and that I think would suit him down to an absolute T. It's suiting down to an absolute T. You just got to look at his quality of work, man. Look, the man's got 5 assists in 4 games or whatever it is. You know, you can see how he's knocking the ball about. You know, he looks good in that position. He looks inverted. You know, it looks like playing this inverted role. He looks... He gets up areas of the pitch. He intercepts the ball really well. I think this is one of his game. This is one thing we've not taken out. We're not spoke about too much yet either. The way Trent intercepts the ball in midfield. Look how many times Trent wins the ball back in midfield lately. How many times Trent wins the ball back in midfield lately? We haven't had that in a while. We've got... Is it a coincidence we've gone on a 4-game winning streak and been unbeaten since Trent became an alternative fullback? Is it just a coincidence that our performances are picked up and we're starting to pick up results since Trent's gone into this midfield area? Is that just a coincidence? It can't be. Can't have too many coincidences, surely. Surely you can't have too many coincidences. Mate, whatever that word is. Maybe eventually we have to just settle and go, you know what? Maybe Trent actually in midfield is the way to go. Say Trent is the way to go in midfield next season, guys. Does that hamper our transfer deals? Say Trent is in the midfield next season. Does that hamper our transfer deals? What do we do in the summer? Do we only buy one midfielder? Do we only buy one midfielder? Because if I'm looking at it now, the Mason Mount rumours have gone very quiet. It looks like Mason Mount might stay at Chelsea now. The Bellingham stuff's the Bellingham stuff. That's gone and by. Right, Bellingham staying at Borussia Dortmund, so he ain't happening. No Bellingham, no Mason Mount. I've not heard a lot of the Alec McAllister, the McAllister stuff from Brighton recently. That's gone quiet. The only one that's been spoke about right now, who I didn't think we was after, is Ugarte. Now, on Twitter today, there's some journalists out there saying that Liverpool are interested in Ugarte, but he might cost too much. And then there's about 4 other journalists today on Twitter that are saying Ugarte to Liverpool looks like it can definitely happen. So we've not been linked with a defensive midfielder till Trent started playing in midfield. I'm just saying it right now. Till Trent started playing in midfield in the last 5 games, we were not linked to someone like Ugarte. As soon as Trent got started playing in that midfield area, all we've been linked to is Ugarte. That's all we've been linked to. I'm trying to sit there and figure out now if Klopp's thinking, you know what? We might have just fallen on something here. Trent might actually be a midfielder. And if Trent's a midfielder, he's a £50 million midfielder. So I don't need to spend that money on a midfielder. I just need to get an Ugarte in. You know, that kind of DM, aggressive midfielder coming in. And then Klopp will go, you know what, I'll get Ugarte, and I've got Ugarte. I've got Stefan Bajcetic. I've got Trent. I've got Thiago. I've got Fabinho. And I've got Henderson. And he might be sitting there and thinking, that's all I need. That's all I need, because Trent's going to be basically a midfielder all next season. Stefan Bajcetic is in the squad all next season. Then I've got Fabinho, and then I've got Ugarte as my new number 6. Right? I'm not saying this is what we should do, by the way. I'm just trying to work out what we might be thinking as a club. And if that's the case, Because, as I keep saying, the Ugarte rumours only happened when Trent started playing midfield in the last 5 games. Before that, we were never rumoured to be after Ugarte. We was after McAllister, Ryan Gravenberch, and Mason Mount. They were the 3 big players we was after. As soon as Trent started playing the midfield, and especially the last week or so, the Mason Mount stuff's gone quiet. The McAllister stuff's gone quiet. And the only one we're completely linked with right now, you go and check all the Liverpool things, socials, the only player we're continuously linked with is Ugarte. So maybe they think they're getting a right back. And we're linked with Timber. We're linked from Timber from Ajax, who apparently is leaving Ajax in the summer. So if we're linked with Timber, are we looking at going, right, we're not going to buy a midfielder because Trent's going to be our midfielder. So if Trent's going to be our midfielder, we need a right back. So they go buy Timber from Ajax as the right back, Ugarte from Sporting as the midfielder. They go put then Trent in midfield. So, and then they go, I don't know, get another forward in or something, or another centre back. That's the way they might be looking, you know. I don't know if that's the right. I don't think that's the right way. I personally don't think that's the right way to do it. I think you need more. I think we need more. There's no doubt about that. But I still think we should be looking at Trent in midfield. Because if Trent, say we go Gravenberch, because Gravenberch is a big possibility. Say we buy Ugarte and Gravenberch, right? Ugarte and Gravenberch, yeah? 2 midfielders. Trent goes back to playing right back. Does the old Trent come back at right back, or does Trent now feel like he is a midfielder? Does Trent now feel like he's a midfielder? Let me know in the chat what you think, guys. I'd like to hear from you guys in the chat right now. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Trent sees himself as a midfielder now, or do you think we buy 2 midfielders in the summer and Trent goes back to right back? Let me know in the chat right now. Big up, Trent. Jane question, when are you doing Tyler Morton? Oh, the Tyler Morton stuff. Don't worry. It'll be coming, my friend. It'll be coming. Thank you for the super chat. I don't think he'll ever go back as a true right back. Gravenberch, Guy, and Dickey and Timbers will do me. Still need 2 mids with Trent plus a right back, centre back. Trent's a midfielder. No, Trent stays in midfield for me. Trent needs to play in midfield. That's what I'm saying, guys. So you guys think it as well. It's an interesting one, ain't it? It's a real interesting one on that sort of front. Let me just get up some other stuff I've seen today about a certain striker. A certain striker of ours right here. Cody Gakpo. Let me see if I can get this up for you. There we go. So Cody Gakpo right there, guys. So Klopp saying today, Cody Gakpo is the perfect player for the central space. Everyone buys into it. It's a breath of fresh air. What does that say for Darwin Nunez? Literally, what does that say from what does that say for Darwin Nunez, guys? Literally. These are Klopp's words. Cody Gakpo is a perfect player for the central space. Everyone buys into it. It's like a breath of fresh air. He's the perfect player. He's not saying he's the player or he's a good option or anything like that. He's saying he's the perfect player. That tells me that Cody Gakpo is Liverpool's new number 9, no matter what happens. You don't say perfect player. What you usually say is that Cody Gakpo is a great choice for us, or Cody Gakpo is a great option for us in this number 9 area because he can do blah de blah, right? And then you have one go, oh, okay, cool. He just said option, but saying the word he is a perfect player for the central space. That tells me that he's going to play the central striker role. And I'm all right with it. I'm not getting that Klopp with this, by the way. If anyone thinks I'm getting that Jurgen with this, I'm not. I agree with Jurgen. I absolutely agree with him. Right now, Cody Gakpo suits Liverpool's positioning. I'm not having to go at Jurgen, whatever. So I see Danny in the chat. Danny, I'm not going at Jurgen. I think he's right here. I've been saying it all, guys. I've been saying it since January. Everyone kept having a go at me since January. I've been saying it since we bought Cody Gakpo. Klopp sees him as the new number 9. I haven't been proved wrong yet. And if you look at the way, and if you look at the players we're eyeing up, none of the players we're buying means that we're going to change system next year either. Like if we buy Agate don't mean we're changing system next year. Even if we play 4-2-3-1 next year instead of 4-3-3, don't really change the system too much. We've seen what we play with 4-2-3-1. The system stays the same. The system is the system. Klopp's system is a good system when he's got the right players in it. I've said this some time now. Get the right players, keep them fit, and Jurgen Klopp's system is a great system. And there's no doubt about it, right? If Gakpo fits that system, why not play him? You play him. I've got no problem with that. I've got no problem with this at all. And I love Darwin Nunez. Everyone knows I'm a big fan of Darwin Nunez. Now, my thing with Darwin Nunez is Cody Gakpo can play the false 9 role. He can play up front his own. We know Jurgen Klopp likes the 3 up top. Jurgen likes the 3 up top. He loves the 3 up top. I don't think that's ever going to change. Let me know in the chat, guys. But I don't think the 3 up top is ever going to change. So if he's got the 3 up top, you look at the players we got, no one can really play in a 2. We ain't really got anyone who can play in a 2 apart from Gakpo and Darwin, maybe as a front 2. But then what do you do with Salah? What do you do with Luis Diaz? What do you do with Jota? So I don't really see that being a thing. I think we play a front 3, no matter what changes behind us. Even if we went 3 at the back like we play now. We're playing 3 at the back at the moment with Kanate, Van Dijk and Robbo, yeah? And then we're playing a 2 in front of the 3, and then a 2, and then a front 3 still. So whatever formation we play, we're always playing a front 3 up top. And at this moment in time, Cody Gakpo suits our system perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. Jota suits our system perfectly. Salah suits our system perfectly. Darwin Nunez at this moment in time just doesn't. But this is where I credit Darwin Nunez. And I don't think a lot of people have looked into it like this. Darwin Nunez does not suit our system under Jurgen Klopp. We can all agree with that, yeah? So if he doesn't suit our system under Jurgen Klopp and he's playing most of the time left wing, which for him is probably out of position because you look at his movement, the way he plays, you can tell he wants to be a number 9, yeah? So if he's playing out of position mostly, he doesn't understand the instructions, what Jurgen Klopp's telling him. He doesn't understand the system yet, and he's got 15 goals in all competitions. They ain't bad, guys. I don't know no many. So I'll give Darwin a lot of credit for that. I hope Darwin plays against Fulham and bags goals because, as I said, I'm a big, big fan of Darwin Nunez. But right now, as we speak, I think we can all agree that Cody Gakpo is the right choice to play that number 9 area. I think we can all agree that Cody Gakpo right now is the correct choice to play this number 9 position. I think I see some other stuff talking about Trent and Gakpo in that same position as well. Because he's talking about Trent working the... let me see if I can find it on Twitter a second. Yeah, we spoke about Jurgen Klopp being charged by the FA. We spoke about that. It was here somewhere. There was a thing that Klopp talks about Trent playing in midfield and Gakpo playing the 9, that how it works. Let me just see if I can find it for you guys. If I can't, I'll move on. 1 second, guys. Let me see if I can find it. Liverpool have set their eyes on Manuel Ugarte, as we know. That's a rumour coming out right now. No, I can't find it at the moment, but I saw it earlier. You guys in the chat might have already seen it on Twitter doing the rounds. Talking about Gakpo basically and saying that, the reason he's playing in that area at the moment is because, Gakpo and Trent playing in that area can find Gakpo very well with the passes, and and Gakpo comes in deep. It helps the wide areas. I can't quite find the thing at the moment. When I find it, I'll probably be able to tell you more, but I can't quite find what he said at the moment. But yeah, that is why I think Klopp likes how it is at the moment. He likes Gakpo in the central attacking area. He's liking Trent in midfield at the moment. Jota's going to be a miss tomorrow. Salah's benefiting from Gakpo playing up front as well. You can tell that, Salah's starting to get goals again. He's enjoying playing in them positions. So, yeah, it's an interesting one with Gakpo, guys. Let me know in the chat what you feel, guys. Why did we buy Nunez then? I don't think Gakpo was ever in their minds to buy. I think that's the thing. I think they always thought they wanted Darwin Nunez and went and bought Darwin Nunez. But when it came to January, I don't ever thought... In the summer, when they bought Darwin Nunez, I don't think there was a plan of going ahead and going, right, we'll buy Gakpo in January. I don't think they ever thought that. I really don't know if they ever thought that, because then that wouldn't, what sense does that make entirely? At the same time as well, they might have thought Darwin was suitable for the number 9 position, and they really wanted to get Gakpo in January and thought it'd be perfect for the left wing position. But then when they arrived at Liverpool, it didn't quite work like that. Darwin couldn't work in the number 9 position in Klopp's system. I think Klopp is feeling a little bit frustrated with Darwin right now. And Gakpo came straight in and played at number 9 position. And what Klopp saw he liked. It just reminded him of Bobby Firmino. Picking the ball up deep, great at protecting the ball. Because Gakpo is very good at protecting the ball, it helps the whole team press up and move up the field. Because he's good at that. That's not Darwin's strengths. Darwin's not great with his back to goal. He's not about that. Darwin is about running off the shoulder of a defender and running into space. That's what Darwin's about. And we don't play to Darwin's strengths. People have said that all season. We don't play to Darwin's strengths. But Gakpo, we do. And that's why he's playing right now. It makes a lot of sense to me. To be fair, in my opinion, our best striker is Diogo Jota. Don't know about you guys. But in my opinion, I know I said I'd sell Jota. I was wrong. Looking at it now, Jota is arguably Liverpool's best striker, really, in that position. But look, Jota's not going to be fit by the look of it. So, Darwin might play against Fulham. It'd be good to see Darwin play. We all knew Klopp ain't changing formation, which from Darwin is screwed. Yeah, I just don't. What do you think Darwin needs to do, guys, in the chat? What do you think Darwin actually needs to do? Do you think he just got to work on his game a little bit? Because I watched some people today, and some people were saying that Darwin's lazy. Do you agree with that? I don't agree with that personally, but some people think Darwin's quite a lazy player. Darwin's not really played a 90-minute game in the Premier League yet. I don't think he's played 90 minutes yet. I can't remember Darwin playing a full 90-minute game off the top of my head. He might have, but in the Premier League, I can't think of it on top of my head. I really can't think of it. If he's played a 90-minute game. Darwin needs to play every game to get a run of form. Benfica, he did miss a game. He's not used being in the squad rotated. Thing is, people are going to have to be rotated. This is the thing. We've got a lot of attackers. You got Gakpo there, Luis Diaz, Salah, Jota, Darwin Nunez. They're all going to be rotated. So they've all got to get used to it. Especially next season. That's a thing to think of as well. I think in his head, Klopp will know his front three for next season. I think Klopp's front three next season is Luis Diaz, Gakpo and Mo Salah. I literally think that's his front three. And then I think you got Jota and Darwin Nunez off the bench. I think that's what he's looking at. And then it's about rotation. I think Luis Diaz then goes as the second left winger. Luis Diaz is the first left winger. Then I think you put Jota in as the second left winger. And you put Darwin Nunez as the second number 9 behind Gakpo. I think that's the way it is at the moment. I think that's the order we are sitting in right now. See, Darwin's got to learn more. Darwin needs to learn more. If Darwin learns more and gets that into his game, Darwin's going to be a fantastic player. There's no doubt about it. So if Darwin can learn on the job, do his defensive duty, get better on the ball and clean up his finishing, for me, Darwin would be untouchable in that number 9 position. If Darwin could do what Gakpo does, Darwin would be undroppable. Darwin will play every single week, right? But Darwin does. I don't think the goals are what... I don't think Klopp's looking at someone like a Gakpo playing his false 9 position to be a goal scorer. Remember, go back to what he always said about Bobby Firmino. When Bobby Firmino came to him once and said, I'm not scoring enough goals. I'm a bit upset in my game. I'm not scoring enough. And Klopp always said, you're not in my team to score goals. You know, Bob, he always said that. Jurgen Klopp always told Bobby Firmino, you are not in my team to score goals. You are the system. You are the trigger man. You are the reason why Salah and Mane are so good. Yeah? And I think he might be looking at Gakpo with that. As Gakpo is that striker that will get 10 to 15 goals a season. But because of that, Diaz will get more goals. Salah will get more goals and stuff like that. Jota will get goals as well. Darwin will get goals as well. So they're going to share it round. But I literally think he doesn't see Gakpo as that killer up front. That's why he's playing him as his number 9. Because you've got to think, in reality, if he wanted a killer up front, then Darwin Nunez would be playing every week, wouldn't he? Darwin Nunez would be playing every single week if he wanted a killer up front in that number 9 position. But I just don't think he does. I think he looks at Darwin Nunez, and I've said this for a while now. I think I said this on Monty's show on the Big Six Bands about Darwin Nunez, that Klopp looks at Darwin Nunez and sees a versatile striker. I think Klopp looks at Darwin Nunez and sees a versatile attacker. He sees someone who can play left wing and sees someone who can play through the middle. He sees someone that's got electric pace and good movement, but is a bit raw. It's still very raw and needs polishing, needs coaching. But I think Klopp sees him as very versatile, where I think he sees Gakpo as an out-and-out number 9. I think that's the difference. With the Jota stuff, guys, Jota's not injured. I see people talking in the chat right now. He's not injured. What it is, he got bruised ribs against West Ham, didn't he? When he got that elbow into the ribs, back of his ribs there against West Ham. He couldn't train on the Friday. That's why he weren't starting against Tottenham. But he came on and scored. It was fine, but his back was still hurting him a little bit. So he's not injured. Klopp said he's a doubt. He might make the game. He might not. He's not trained. If he trains today, he'll be fine. But yeah, he's not injured. Like, if he don't play against Fulham, he'll be back for the next game. So don't worry, guys. It's just he got elbowed in the back of the ribs. He's all right. Jota will miss 3 months every season. That's why you need a squad, man. That's why you need to keep Darwin Nunez around. Big up Red Scout TV, how you doing, man? All Darwin has to do is get tapes on how Firmino used to play number 9, watch Gakpo and adjust the game. Exactly. That's what I keep saying. If Darwin could play to the way Gakpo plays, Darwin would be untouchable in that number 9 position. But is Darwin capable of doing that? That is the thing we got to put here, guys. Is Darwin Nunez capable of learning and teach and coaching into that position as that kind of player? That's something we've got to keep our eye on. In the meantime, I think Klopp's going to use him as a left winger some games, a striker another game, a left winger another game, a striker another game, impact sub. I've also said, I believe I said this earlier in the season, that if Luis Diaz and Jota didn't get injured, I don't think you'd see that much of Darwin Nunez this season anyway. I don't think Darwin Nunez was bought for this season. I think Darwin Nunez was bought for next season and the season after. He's a project player. I know people go mad at that. It's 65 million for a project player. I get it. I understand it. But I literally think that's what he was bought for. Because look at Gakpo. Gakpo's played every game since January. You know, Gakpo hasn't needed to learn the game how Klopp wants to play. Gakpo is just fitted in straight away. Plays week in, week out. Luis Diaz was bought last January, over a year ago. Yeah, 18 months ago now, we bought Luis Diaz. Straight away came into our team, got the system, went for it. The only one who hasn't is Darwin Nunez. So there is an issue there. There is an issue there with Darwin and what Klopp wants him to do that Darwin doesn't understand yet. And I know the English thing keeps coming up, yeah, the English barrier, because he doesn't understand instruction. But how did Luis Diaz understand everything he needed to do when we bought him in January last year? Luis Diaz knew exactly what to do last January. Bobby Firmino knew straight away what to do. His English has never been great, even now, and he's been here 8 years. I don't know if Darwin's making the language thing as an excuse. That's a worry for me. That's a worry for me. If Darwin is using the language barrier as an excuse, because Luis Diaz didn't need that excuse. Bobby Firmino didn't need that excuse. So that's a little worry for me if he's using that as a bit of an excuse. Maybe, you know, I'm not sure. Gakpo was bought as a squad player, but he just played himself into the team. Do you know, I'm not sure about that, man, because he played straight away. I think he played straight away. You might be right, Mac, but he played straight away because Luis Diaz was injured. And I think Darwin had a knock at the time, didn't he? So Gakpo played. And as soon as he played, this is the thing as well, Mac. As soon as Gakpo played and he played that false nine area, Klopp was like, whoa, oh, hang on. And he's not been out of the team since. Do you know what I mean? So it's a bit... Yeah, Bobby's football IQ is out of this world. Yeah, there is a different kind of kettle of fish there. Football don't have language, it's ball. Yeah, I agree, guys. I agree on everything you guys are saying, guys. But listen up. Listen. That's me done. Robbo thing. Before we finish here, Andy Robertson. What do we do with Robbo? What do you guys think we do with Robbo? Because for me, Robbo gets away with quite a lot. Not enough people talk about Robbo. I think he gets away with it quite a bit. I think he's been quite average. He frustrates me a lot, does Robbo. Continuously frustrates me. What do you think we do with Robbo next season, guys? Do we need to buy a new left back in the summer to compete with Robbo? Because let's face it, Tsimikas isn't it. I like Tsimikas, but if we're being truthful here, Tsimikas isn't it, is he? So do we need to buy a new left back? What do we need to do? Let me know in the chat, guys. Let me know in the chat. Yeah, Gakpo has just joined Klopp's click. Robbo needs a shape up. I think we're starting to look at a new long-term left back for the season after. I agree. I love Tsimikas. I just don't know about Tsimikas. I've never really rated him like that. It's a mad one. Look, I'll talk about the Andy Robinson stuff a bit more tomorrow when we before kick-off in the watch-along. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. I know the Arsenal and Chelsea game is about to kick off, or it has just kicked off. So what we're going to do, we're going to leave that there. Go and watch that game, guys. And I'll be back tomorrow afternoon for Liverpool and Fulham match preview. And then I'll be back tomorrow night for a watch along as well. So, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the evening. If you're watching the football, enjoy it. Guys, thank you very much once again for joining me today. Do appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like button on the way out if you've not hit that like button yet, guys. And subscribe if you're new. And share the video out, guys, on your socials. Big up to all of you. Much love. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy your night.